Hi, my name's Derek Ty, and welcome to another episode of Cincinnati Real Estate Reviews. Today we're going to talk to you about the Mason, Deerfield Township, Ohio area in the greater Cincinnati area. We're going to cover schools, hospitals, restaurants, shopping, places to go walk. Is it dog friendly? And of course, stay tuned at the end. I'm going to tell you the 3 things I dislike about Mason and the 3 things I really like about Mason. Let's go. Welcome, my name's Derek Ty, and I've been serving the Mason, greater Cincinnati area since 2004. So let's start with why the greater Cincinnati area. Starting with the business community, there are a ton of Fortune 100 companies here, small businesses, and even startups. There's great schools from preschools all the way to top universities. We have world-class sports like the Cincinnati Reds, Cincinnati Bengals, Hoo Day, and soccer. We've got amazing parks, both city, township, even state parks everywhere. We have lots of friendly people that smile, which I like. Farmers markets all over town, world-class fine arts and entertainment, restaurants, the Cincinnati Zoo, world-class hospitals, an international airport, and even great real estate home values. So now where is Mason, Deerfield Township in relation to greater Cincinnati? Well, Mason's a city northeast of downtown Cincinnati and is in Warren County. It's actually near Montgomery, Chester and Loveland. The downtown area is pretty small, but the mailing address used for the communities surrounding the town are used for several miles, like Deerfield Township. So if you hear about the Mason area, you might be talking about Deerfield Township also. Now, the proximity to downtown is pretty easy. It's a straight shot down I-71, or some people take 275 or Cross County Highway west over to 75 and go 75 south if the traffic's like blocked on 71. Either way, you're about 30 to 35 minutes in traffic there. The hospitals are really close by too. Bethesda North Hospital is in the next town down in Montgomery, but then there's also some larger regional hospitals, both downtown Cincinnati and in Liberty Township. There's also a Cincinnati Children's Hospital outpatient center right there in Mason. So a lot of people want to know how close is the airport. Well, actually you get 2 airports. So the closest airport technically is CVG, which is in northern Kentucky. And also you have Dayton Airport is maybe a mile or 2 further depending on where you are in Mason, and the Dayton Airport is just to the north, about 35 minutes. So it's really easy to get on a highway in Mason. There's several exits and entrance ramps both on the east side of Mason and the west side of Mason, and on the north side of Mason and the south side of the Mason area. So if you're in the Mason Deerfield Township area, usually you only got a few minutes to get onto a major highway. So what makes the Deerfield Township Mason area special? Well, first of all, the history of the neighborhood. It's been relatively a new home development over the last 40 years. Proctor & Gamble built a large business center there, and then a lot of people wanted to be close to work. So there's a ton of real estate residential developments, and then when there's a lot of people there, then all the businesses want to be there too. So it's been mostly developed over the last 40 years, most of it. When I was a kid, we used to play baseball in the cornfields out there. Literally there was baseball fields. Now where there's like a Target or Dick's Sporting Goods. The most important thing that most people think about Mason is also the Mason Community Center. That's actually right in the heart of Mason. It is a gigantic facility of exercise equipment, 3 pools, a warm water therapy pool, an indoor competition pool, a leisure pool with a lazy river, whirlpool, 35-foot rock climbing wall. They have extra gaming units for the kids that like doing that. There are a field house with 6 sport courts, a huge gym, a post office, gift shop, cafe, party rooms. So it is a great facility. Is there good shopping in the Mason and Deerfield Township area? There's some scenic kind of downtown, little small town shops. But then when you go to the surrounding business district and go south on Mason Montgomery Road, you're going to run into every national chain and shopping center. So you've got Kroger, Walmart, Costco, Whole Foods, Dick's Sporting Goods, Target, Best Buy, Home Goods, Lowe's, and Home Depot, which we use a lot as well. So within about 10 minutes of the downtown area, you're going to find all those places. So what about restaurants in that area? Well, there's so many restaurant options in the Mason and Deerfield Township area. All your major fast food options, then you get your mid-grade stuff like the Chipotle, So here are my favorite restaurants in the Mason and Deerfield Township area. My favorite kind of casual place is the Mission Barbecue. I love that they've got the modern day heroes all over the walls, firefighters, police officers, military service people, and they also give discounts to all those folks, but their barbecue is really good also. One of my family favorites is Taste of Belgium. It's like a locally owned place. They have a few different locations, but the best Belgian waffles I've ever had. It's the real good Liege waffles. We love their coffee, so our family goes there after church to brunch every now and then. We love it. Cracker Barrel is another favorite. In the kind of Midwest and South, you see Cracker Barrels, but there is one actually in this town. So if you're coming from another state that doesn't have a Cracker Barrel, it might be cool for you to have that. They have a little gift shop and a lot of little country decor. Another one of our family favorites, my wife's favorite, is Nothing Bundt Cake. So this is a small bakery that just cooks bundt cakes, and they're amazing. Lemon, lime, and all kinds of exotic flavors, chocolate, red velvet. If you haven't had it yet and you're looking for some fun dessert, try that out. And for a fun, more night out kind of dinner, the Wildfire Cafe and Shop has a wine shop built into it, outdoor seating. This is a really cool place to eat if you're interested. So what parks are in Mason, Ohio? Well, there are about 8 parks right there, depending on how you count them. My favorite parks, I'm going to give you 3. One of them is Carter Park on King Avenue. This is an 85-acre park, mostly wooded. It does have a paved path that winds past the pond and loops around the field. There are natural features around the pond. There's meadows, trails. There's a large wooded area with an elevation change, so if you like to do some hiking or walking, it's just a beautiful park, scenic views, and it's kind of different than most of Mason, which is pretty flat and developed. Cottle Park on Irwin Simpson Road is a walking path, playgrounds, picnic shelters, multi-purpose fields, baseball courts, tennis courts, pickleball courts, catch and release fishing, restrooms. There's a quilt barn. There's a free library, Snyder House rental facility, and there's a memorial to honoring veterans there. The third park that I like there is called Fleckenstein Park. It's a walking path, playground, picnic shelter, multi-purpose fields, baseball fields, tennis courts. It has one for pickleball, restrooms, and another quilt barn. They have a huge playground here, and my kids actually really like it. So is Mason walkable and dog friendly? Well, I would say one thing that Mason really does well in Deerfield Township is there are sidewalks everywhere. So even though it's a very large planned out community, they've done a great job of keeping it pedestrian and dog friendly. So the downtown areas actually connect to the main sidewalk areas. Most of the neighborhoods that are up and down Mason Montgomery Road do have sidewalk access, and some on Snyder Road have access as well. So there is a little downtown area you can walk your dog around in. Most of Mason is more of like a commercial development area with kind of spread apart strip malls and things like that. So most people don't walk their dogs there. They keep them in the neighborhoods or go to the parks with them. There is a special dog park in Mason that you should know about if you're a dog person. So it's Mason's newest park. It's called Palmyra Dog Park. It's an enjoyable space for dogs and owners to socialize, meet new friends. It's in the lower section of the Mason Sports Park. And there's a vestibule entrance with turf and concrete, a dog water fountain, dog seating, and separate play areas for large dogs and small dogs. If you want the address on that, that's on Mason Morrow Millgrove Road. So what school options are in Mason? Well, there's about 10 preschool options just within the Mason and Deerfield Township area. And then if you're in the public school system, you go to Mason Elementary, then Mason Intermediate, then Mason Junior High, and then Mason High School. If you're looking for ratings on the schools or the school system, I would encourage you to go to the State of Ohio report card website. If you need a link to that, reach out to us and we'll get that to you. If you're looking for private school options, there's at least a dozen options within a 10 to 15 mile radius. Kids go to St. X, Moeller, Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, Miami Valley Christian Academy, Summit Country Day. There's lots of private school options that you can check out. So what types of homes are there and how much are they worth? Well, there are several types of ways to live in Mason. You can rent an apartment, a condo, or a home, or you can buy one. Generally, people are buying condos and homes. The typical construction is, again, homes built in the last 40 years. A lot of new construction still happening there right now. A lot of homes have vinyl siding. Some have brick and stone. Some have the new cement siding board, depending on the luxury and the price range. If you're looking for square footage and garages and basements, Mason's pretty common to have all three. So you're going to have at least a 2-car garage at most homes. You're going to have at least about 2,000 square feet on most homes, and you're going to have at least a basement. Most people finish their basements as well. So let's get into pricing. Condos in the last 6 months have sold for an average of $238,000. 3-bedroom homes have averaged $325,000 there, and 4-bedroom homes, including luxury properties, have averaged $640,000. It's not uncommon to see homes in the luxury end selling for $1.5 to $2 million, especially in the Long Cove area. And there are some estate lots left in Mason where there's 5 acres. People are buying up kind of old farmhouses, tearing down the farmhouses, and building homes on top of those so they can have a big, yard and estate type setting with a large home on it. So those homes can range anywhere from $2 million and higher, depending on the location and depending on the size of the home. So what 3 things do I dislike about the Mason Deerfield Township area? Well, first of all, again, like anything else you've heard me say before, traffic can be really tough on the main corridor. So if you're going through rush hour when all the employees are getting off work or on the way in, the main boulevard, which is called Mason Montgomery Road, can get pretty congested, especially right around the Proctor & Gamble headquarters area. From the downtown area where the highways kind of come in all the way to the other highway exits down around I-71, 275, that whole corridor, which is about 5 miles or so, can get, stop and start traffic. I believe that Deerfield Township and the city of Mason's done a really good job lately of widening the roads. So just in the last 6 months, we've seen a new highway entrance exit system built. We've also seen another lane added. So you're seeing some improvements there to help alleviate that traffic. The second thing I dislike about the Mason Deerfield Township area is the lack of hills and scenery. So most of Mason and Deerfield Township is built on a pretty flat plain of land, 10 miles this way to 10 miles that way, a lot of farmland, soybean fields, cornfields. Like I said, that's where I grew up playing baseball on those cornfields, and that's how I used to think about Mason. And then in the last 40 years, it's really grown up. So right now, if you're driving around the main part of town, you're gonna see a lot of commercial buildings, office buildings, hotels, the Target and Walmart and Kroger. It's not like a super scenic area. Now, if you wanna go to one of these parks I'm telling you about, it's completely different. They reserve some of the best land in Mason and Deerfield Township for parks. So you can still, get out of your little neighborhood area or off the main boulevard and go to one of these park areas. And even state parks are close by. Caesars Creek is a state park that's not too far, and East Fork State Park. Those are beautiful Ohio state parks that you can get to within a half hour to 45-minute drive. The third thing I dislike about Mason Deerfield Township area is it doesn't really have like a small town feel. So I'm kind of like old school, I guess, in a lot of ways. I still like the little mom and pop shops and a little bit more small business friendly. Mason is very commercialized, right? So all your big stores, you have to drive in and out of concrete parking lots everywhere. Nothing wrong with that. And if you're into, having all the latest and greatest, everything's there. But if you're looking for more of a small town feel, smaller schools, smaller atmosphere, getting to know all your neighbors, unless you're getting super deep inside your neighborhood, it doesn't really have that small town feel. So what are 3 things I love about Mason? Well, first of all, you gotta love the parks. The parks are amazing there. So if you're into walking, hiking, taking your dog, riding your bike, taking your kids, I've lived in different areas around Cincinnati since I was born in the 70s. And Mason's one of those places where you actually can go from another town into Mason and use their parks because they're just that nice. So I'd say that is one thing I really love about Mason is their park system. The second thing I love about Mason is access to business. So we actually use all the businesses in Mason, even though we live in the next town over in Loveland. We go to Mason, Deerfield Township to do most of our shopping. So that's Costco, that's Target, Walmart, the auto mall, we buy cars there. We go up and down the strip. My daughter is in a yoga class that she does, the aerial yoga. We go to Deerfield Township, Mason area to go to all that stuff. So a lot of people in the general area still use Mason, Deerfield Township as where they do most of their business. Another thing I love about Mason is the access to Kings Island. Kings Island is a world-renowned amusement park. The Beast is one of the longest, fastest roller coasters in the world that's wooden. We've been going to Kings Island since we were little kids, and it's literally in our backyard. Don't forget, we also have world-class golf and world-class tennis tournament every year here in Cincinnati, Ohio, in Mason. Well, thank you for taking your time to watch this neighborhood review on the Mason Deerfield Township area. Of course, if you want to add anything, please add it in the comments. What did I miss? Is there something you really love about Mason? Do you want to agree with one of my comments, disagree with one of my comments? Is there something you dislike about Mason that I didn't think about? So what we'd like for you to do also is subscribe to our channel. If you're interested in other reviews on real estate here in the greater Cincinnati area, we'd love to serve you that way. And if you like and subscribe, it helps us with the YouTube algorithm channels. We'd love that. Also, if you are interested in buying or selling or even investing in real estate here in the greater Cincinnati area and you want an expert team to help you, reach out to the number that you see there and we'll be happy to get back with you within 24 hours. Have a great day and we'll see you soon.